welcome to Funday Monday Rejects number 3. Because enough fun stuff for Monday to take the full 24 hours, and Day 9 only bothers to give us 2 or so of his time. This week was Stupidest Games Ever, and that typo gets us off to a slightly stupid start. Not very. Not very. There's one big stupid moment in this game, which is hilarious, but I certainly can't fault the choice for what went on the main Funday Monday program. Those games were just stupid for hours. Fortunately, they went through it faster times 8 speed. Now, in this game, I was actually trying to do a different Funday Monday. Had to give up midway through. Versus a Protoss opponent, Isaac Ponyo, which he could. He could. Let's just go a bit faster through the early stages. So one thing that we're going in the stupid direction here is the gasless Terran style. I haven't really made it work outside of Fundays, but it is very amusing, I must say. Another little thing I do, you can tell Terran is not my primary race, is the barracks wall. Because barracks have so many more hit points than supply depots. You can lift them off almost as easily as you can lower supply depots. Why not just have a lovely barracks wall instead? So we are making some interesting decisions already. Protoss player starting with a bit of aggression, not really pushing it too hard, and obviously going for Warp Gate. Classic Protoss style. And you know, this late slow gas Terran, it has the potential. We'll see how it fares against this. He does do a good job with that probe, scouting all of the bases, knows exactly where I am. You know, after the Zealots came here anyways. And that's a start. And this, holding the troops here instead of up the ramp, is good. That allows you to nice scouting of the fact that no, you haven't taken a base. You're just going to do a 1 base, 4 gate all in. Maybe 3 gate, as many gates as you can afford, really. Not everyone can get to 4 gates, and that's okay. That's okay, you don't need 4 gates to prove your manhood. Just as many as you can manage is fine. And there's the pylon. Pylon being very spotted. Not good for your 4 gate, you always want to hide it away. That's not the stupid thing that he does. I'm sorry, you'll still have to wait for it. Now, it's spotted, we have Marines, he can't warp anything in just yet. That pylon isn't going to work, but you know, that's no reason to change your strategy. This gives you time to get that 4th gateway up, turn these ones into warp gates, and you know, maybe just build more pylons. So there's another probe going out there with his order queued up already. Unfortunately, he's not earning any interest on those minerals, but that's okay. He's got plenty, just building up for the 4 gate. And of course, this is a relatively scary push. A Terran who's just doing nothing but building SCVs and maybe starting to finally take his gas is going to be in trouble, especially when he's supply blocked from not having the supply depots that you normally have here. If barracks provided 8 supply each as well, even 4, I'd be happy with 4 supply each. That would make my Terran games so much more powerful. And as you can see, we've got these ninja expansions going up here, because why not? Maybe he'll be late scouting and he won't figure out which one we spawned in. I thought we were just being a little late. But no, he does know. And here he comes with this powerful, relatively 4 gate, lots of troops, no upgrades. Who needs upgrades? He's got lots of stuff and we haven't. And as I believe Day 9 was saying, even in that Funday Monday, a lot of stuff beats a little stuff all the time. And now the little stuff is trying to fly on home, but that is a lot of stuff. And the pylon here can start to get used. Ooh, 5 gates. Maybe they'll even warp in sometime. No, he's still just accumulating money. But yeah, the wall. Super powerful against Zergs. Not quite as impressive here against Protoss. A bunker on the high ground might have been a little smarter than the bunker on the low ground. And they're driven off for now, which of course is the time to start making more SCVs, am I right? Well, maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure what these turrets are here for, to be honest. I can't even remember. Why do you spend all your time building turrets when you're in the middle of getting four-gated to death? And there's no wall against all these zealots. The SCVs. Auto repair makes them actually much better tanks. Have them just spend all that time getting extra hit points instead of dealing piddling amounts of damage. But, you know, they keep warping in reinforcements, and 4 gates is better than 3 barracks. Unfortunately. Why don't we have more barracks at this point of time? Well, this was a stupid game. Let's be honest. And already we're getting to a very nice low level of stupidity that probably reminds everyone of their own games to some small extent. But the good part's yet to come. Unfortunately, this one is not entirely good parts. Nice little trapping the wall there, but we can always just lift our barracks up and let them retreat. No? No, we're just going to give up. You know, if he's four-gating, he probably doesn't have an expansion. We can just give up ours. We're not going to open the gates for anyone. That would make it too easy for our troops. All we need is that Marauder and a bunker and perfect micro, medevac, something. Who knows how it'll work. This is actually nice, taking out the SCVs there, preventing the bunker from going up. And this might be able to push in, but of course he's warping in even more behind that. And you know, this is probably it for ASAL. This 4-gate by Isaac Ponyu, it's done it. It's pushing in. It's defeated the army. Back to 1 base. Except for these ninja expansions. Now that we seem to have remembered about them. And ASAL is deciding, well, this base didn't work. Let's try the other corners. Lack of scouting. Bit of a problem from Isaac Ponyu. And well, this base, it's all going to die. Everyone will die. Massacre to a man. And I think the attention has shifted now to these other fledgling bases. And what will our opponent do? And this is where things start getting stupid. Because against any reasonably smart player, you know, once you take out this base, you check for ninja expansions, you build up your economy, you create an unstoppable Jeff's army just because if they haven't surrendered yet, then you need to prove a point. But instead, I'm going to have fun flying my buildings. And the buildings go to the corners, and this is immediately recognized by Isaac as the classic Terran tactic of, I feel bad about being defeated, I'm going to fly my buildings to all the corners and hope that you give up and surrender instead of getting anti-air. In fact, on a map this big, it's not just anti-air, the Stalkers alone won't cut it. He needs to get his own air, anti-air, Phoenix, or Void Rays, or Tempests. These buildings really should be counting as massive, let's be honest. And that's the classic Terran tactic. So here he goes, chasing down the buildings, hunting them to a man. Obviously, I'm not revealed. The orbital commands are flying off there. So that's why I haven't been revealed. There's certainly no other bases starting to go up. And you know, from memory, the bases went up well after the initial base was destroyed. But really, it was that point back there when I just attack move with the SCVs, said screw it, and then started focusing up here. But none of these bases really can hold on to a prolonged attack. If only he could scout. And he does see the buildings that are moved directly at him. Trying to land here for the proxy rack shenanigans doesn't work. And he is finally getting his second base. So it will be 2 base to 2 base. All he needs to do is realize that I have bases that are not flying to the corners of the map. And he's going 5-star gate because all he needs is a couple of Void Rays and needs 1, right? Just getting the gas here. And I mean, it's assuming that it was the standard Terran tactic of I'm being a jerk. He's doing a good job of it. He's got the Stalkers here and the Zealots here. I can't just sneak back in and land. That's not going to work. He's going to spot me instantly. He's getting Stalkers here. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe he's expecting the buildings to run around into a flank with their high speed. Yes, I haven't seen a move speed below 1 before, but now I'm checking the buildings. And so, yeah, he's ready in case I ever want to land. Gee, I hope there aren't some ninja expansions anywhere that are currently spending their time to get up. And I mean, this was vulnerable like 5 minutes ago. It was vulnerable 2 or 3 minutes ago. Oh, it's vulnerable now, but if you just give time for 2 bases to keep building, you know, anything can happen. And of course, 5 Stargates, not quite able to use them all. But it doesn't really matter, just make some Void Rays, float some gas, mine out your main, and then don't transfer the probes. The probe transfer, very good. I'm thinking more highly of him by the second. Now third base too, looks like he knows that he should just be building stuff. So that is a good delayed reaction as he hunts down the buildings down here. And he's starting to make headway. He can tell these buildings are going to have to give up soon. Buildings on the lower side of the map. Trying to do something without going to the important side of the map. Oh, the Void Ray chasing the flying command center. And I'm putting him on the act. I'm managing to convince him that yes, this is my last building. Go ahead. I have lulled him into a false sense of security, and you know it's a stupid game when you successfully lull someone into a false sense of security. Those horrible commands. Up here, the uncontested bases, we have gone the campaign-style route. This is the bio base with barracks and engineering bays. It produces Marines. This is the mech base, which has a starport and a factory and has no barracks, and we will get an armory. So we've got this nice thematic separation here. Just like that episode with the Odin in the campaign, and already he's found, okay, here's the remaining floating buildings. What will happen? And these Marines trickling out one at a time, just not enough for these no upgrade Void Rays. And you know, I think with this Widowmine burrowing, he might finally have a hint. There was no factory in the first base. These Stalkers start having a look at what's up. Let's check the Isaac cam. He's wanting to kill that command center. Stalkers have stopped at the base of the ramp because it's walled off, but he doesn't know that. And then, what? They're under attack? What's this? There's an entire base? When did that get there? And he's probably feeling a little embarrassed right now, but that's okay. That's only one base. He still has 5 gateways, 3 bases. That should be fine. You know, as long as he doesn't scout some more. And what's his next order? Oh. Let's see. I think he's going to scout the remaining base locations. And there they go. There they go, these Stalkers. Moving, as you can see, past the Widow Mines. And he must be suspecting something's up by now. Why is this base defended? Why can I see a planetary fortress up here? Oh dear. Realization begins to slowly dawn that he should have scouted earlier. But that's okay, it's just a planetary fortress, right? Void Rays will take that out. After all, he has nothing on the ground to shoot it. Well, not on the ground, no. The mech base has stuff in the ground and flying, but nothing like that rain of bunkers and the constant stream of Marines. Because let's be honest, the bio base can't do anything but produce Marines. Ooh, and there's the nothing on the ground base. Void Rays versus SCV repair. It is going down. You probably should do something about those Vikings. You probably should stay away from those missile turrets. No? No, you just really want to take out that planetary, don't you? I mean, I can understand that. That planetary is really a very high priority target. And there we go. Realization dawns after losing 5 Void Rays, and after the Widow Mines get their charge back. Ouch. And in the meantime, he's going to try and hold off the vast swell of Marines, but by now it's pretty much all over. Unfortunately, you took out the initial base, but when the bio base and the tech base team up from their disparate corners, this is almost like a 3v1 You rush forward to kill one player and try and even the odds, but if you forget about the other two, they'll just build up. And there we have it. Lulled into a false sense of security. Now the endless rush of Marines is going to strike against the Void Ray Stalker combination. You know, I don't know if they're trading efficiently here. I don't much care. The Vikings ready to harass that base. The only remaining mining base. And there we have it. From a game where Isaac had an easy victory with the 4-gate, should have won the entire game, he chases those flying buildings because the Terran, being a jerk, was successful. Finally lulled him into a false sense of security, and now things are looking bad. One base defended by mines, another by bunkers. It's just too much for him. And eventually the next wave of expendables will be coming along. Next wave of Widow Mines. And even taking a third base. Now that's bold. Upgrades versus no upgrades. Not exactly the stupid part, but after this I think he just gives up. Because I'm not ballsy enough to hide the time counter there. There you have it. Lulled into a false sense of security. Flying the buildings to the corners actually worked. For the first time I have ever seen it work. And that was a stupid game. Thank you for watching. Good night.